What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to Comic Breakdown. In this video, we are jumping into Avengers issue number 65. This is part 6 of Avengers Assemble. With the multiversal war coming to its end, we have seen that the multiversal masters of evil have taken very heavy loss, appearing to have a victory in this battle. That moment of victory was quickly taken away with the arrival of Doom Supreme, with his space station coming down and crushing the Avengers Tower. Our heroes finding themselves very much outmatched against Doom and his Doom army, needing a sorcerer. That is where we have the arrival of Avenger Prime, taking off his mask, revealing that he is in fact a Loki. Now we're gonna get the origin story of how Loki became Avenger Prime. So make sure you guys have subscribed to the channel, make sure that you like this video, and with that being said, let's dive into this breakdown. Alright gang, so with Avenger Prime showing up on the battlefield, having mere moments to really explain himself, he starts to go into detail on exactly who he is. Because when everybody else sees that there is a Loki here on the battlefield claiming to be Avenger Prime, obviously many people, they have questions. But this Loki story starts on the happiest moment of his life, the day that his brother had died. But it wasn't at the hands of Loki. In the end, he died trying to tame the hammer, Mjolnir, with a mind of its own. It had flown the young prince of Asgard into a sun. It burnt him to a crisp, returning nothing more than Thor's hand. And Odin was never the same after that day. By the time Loki had reached adulthood, he had already overthrown his father, selling Odin off as a slave to the Frost Giants. He found himself sitting upon this throne by himself, and he felt the loneliness begin to creep in, the emptiness that he was now feeling. In search of an answer on why he felt this loneliness even when he got everything that he wanted, using his sorcery, using the power and the magic of Asgard, he was able to open up gateways to other universes. This is where he started to sit down with other Lokis. But he soon found that himself out there in the vast multiverse, it was always the same. They always tried to kill him, to take his power. One thing he learned is that a Loki cannot be trusted, and so he goes in secret, looking at all of these Lokis, searching for an answer. Why were Lokis such despicable creatures? What he observed was one failure after another. That Lokis were foul and they were despicable because Lokis always lost. He was the one Loki that was an anomaly, one who was graced with a throne, the most powerful sorcerer in his reality. His variants across the multiverse, the only thing they were good at was losing. Most often, they fell to the hands of those that called themselves the Avengers. When Earth's mightiest heroes would inevitably find themselves first drawn together to fight a foe no single hand could ever do, the foe was always Loki, taking away a single lesson from all of these encounters: no more Avengers. Going back to his reality, he ensured that no one would ever become the Thunder God again, that no one would ever find Captain America's body, that Iron Man would never put on that suit. He sacked Wakanda. He slaughtered every Kree half-breed he could find. He obliterated anyone in the world who might someday feel the urge to avenge. It is only after he defeats the Avengers that he realizes he found a way to lose. In his haste to dismantle the world's Avengers, he forgot that it wasn't just Loki's that they gathered to fight against. That is when we have the Mad Titans, the God Butchers, the World Eaters. They all descend down on Loki. Against them all, Loki stood alone. somehow prevailing, pushing his sorcery to levels beyond anything that he ever imagined. But all magic comes at a heavy cost. The cost was every single living life in his universe. He had done it. He defied the curse of the Lokis. He had finally won, and though he felt just a faint flicker of joy, the only time he felt that flicker is when he decided to throw himself into the sun. But even trying to take his own life, he found that he would be a failure at it. Instead, he finds himself at the God Quarry. He finds himself at Infinity's End. On this day, he did what no Loki had ever done before. He dropped down to his knees and he prayed to the God Quarry. He prayed to this unseen power, asking for his life to come to an end, to be sent to oblivion that he believes he so rightfully deserves. But the answer he got back was something he didn't expect. The God Quarry told him no, that he would not be allowed to die until he served a penance. No more Avengers had been his cry, but the multiverse had shown him that Lokis were always fated to be the force that brought the Avengers together. And so, as the greatest Loki who has ever lived, this was his new task. This was his new job, assembling the Avengers forever. They built the Avengers Tower at Infinity's End. He assembled the mightiest Avengers in all of Infinity. When the work was done, he confessed to the assembled heroes of his many crimes. Many wished him dead. Others wanted him to stay in the tower forever, to serve out an eternal sentence. Now, of course, all of these heroes, they came and went over the eons as needed. The Deathlocks were his most trusted soldiers. For so long, they had operated in the shadows. But now he finds himself needing to make first contact with Avengers from a very particular universe. That is what brings us to present day. Doom's planetoid coming down on Avengers Tower. The Doom army making their charge, screaming in the name of Doom. But Loki lets them know that that name, it has no power here. By all the forces of multiversal magic in the universe, we see Loki let loose his sorcery, wiping away entire garrisons of Doom's army. This gives them just a little bit more time, because the Avengers, all of these heroes, they know Loki. Obviously, many of the heroes have questions. They're not sure if they can trust him. A Loki being the person to always stab you in the back. This is where they see that he is hurt. He had battled against Mephistos. Not sure really how he was even able to survive this encounter, but he slaughtered a good amount of them. But even him doing this, they still bring into question how we could trust you. How do we know that you are in fact a redeemed Loki? And he knows that their trust is going to be hard earned. He knows what his counterparts have done throughout the multiverse. And so as an offering, he has brought a gift. As he opens up a portal, this is where we see the Avengers of 616. They come through that gateway and they are ready to fight. And that will be the end of this issue. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments. So Avengers Assemble has been relatively sloppy. Not that it's a horrible story. You just have so many characters getting thrown in here. You're having battles that take place over the course of weeks, but are happening within 20 pages. It is a story that finds itself very heavily convoluted, but it hasn't necessarily been a bad story. It's just a story that doesn't give the opportunity to tell all of these amazing tales. But I have thoroughly enjoyed this issue. Learning that Avenger Prime is Loki. Learning that he was able to defeat Galactus. He was able to defeat the Celestials. He was able to defeat the Mad Titan. But this all came at the cost of everybody in his universe. Every single single soul had died. While heartbreaking, we also learned the true extent of this Loki's power, of his ability, his capability to just destroy so much. It's almost poetic in the way that a Loki has to bring the Avengers together. No one would have ever assumed that he was Avenger Prime, that he brought the Avengers together, not to fight against him, to fight with him. Now, on the precipice of the final battle, we are gonna have Doom Supreme versus Loki Avenger Prime. So let me know your thoughts, let me know your theories. If you would like to get completely caught up on everything going on with Avengers Assemble, be sure to check out the link in my description as well as the top of this video. It is gonna get you completely caught up on everything happening in this event. If you would like to support the channel, you can always do so by joining the channel membership, much like Patreon having 5 different tiers. From $1 to $50, from loyalty badges to getting free comics every single month. Not only does this help out the channel tremendously, but you are getting tons of perks in the process. If you are unable to do that, do me a favor, subscribe to the channel, like this video, hit that notification bell, and with that being said, until the next breakdown.